that exists to bring greater international understanding and collaboration through the study of culture, art, and history. Indeed, approximately 1/3 of you in this august audience are guests of the Cultural Treasures Foundation that sought to collaborate with the University Club on this and future educational events. I'm honored to serve as a bridge. In early 2017, a year that's coming all too quickly in my opinion, we hope to have another joint event honoring and exploring Australian Aboriginal art in conjunction with the University Club's neighbor a few blocks away, the Embassy of Australia. Tonight, however, is dedicated to bringing together 3 brilliant practitioners and scholars to discuss various approaches to one of the major issues of our time. The topic of preserving cultural heritage in conflict zones could not be more relevant as the terror army of ISIS re-entered the precious site of antiquities and glorious monuments, Palmyra, Syria, just this weekend, recapturing about half the city. We watched in horror as this magnificent architectural treasure was subjected to purposeful destruction of its most glorious edifices and temples. Recaptured last year to great international fanfare, the center could not hold and is once again in great peril in the hands of marauding soldiers who know very well that a people's culture is its lifeblood. Like democracy itself, the protection of cultural heritage can never rest comfortably from forces that would seek to debase and destroy it. We are learning over and over again that both civilization and democratic institutions require constant vigilance and often enormous bravery. There are reasons, however, that I find to be heartened, and the efforts to document, protect, and restore damaged treasures are becoming more sophisticated all the time. Many of you probably read the splendid article in a recent New Yorker magazine about the amazing success in replicating through 3D imaging the tombs of Tutankhamun in the Valley of the Kings, and to recreate precious treasures from Nimrod, the Assyrian city in present-day Iraq that had been devastated by war and focused cultural destruction. Many noted with satisfaction that several months ago, the International Criminal Court prosecuted successfully an Al-Qaeda terrorist from Mali for the desecration of time-honored tombs, buildings, and their contents in Timbuktu. To quote the prosecutor, Fatou Bensouda, a Gambian lawyer from a large Muslim family, to intentionally direct an attack against historic monuments dedicated to religion constitutes a war crime and is a profound attack on the identity, the memory, and therefore the future of the entire population. Our 3 speakers tonight also give me great encouragement that engaged minds, technological innovation such as geospatial imaging, GPS devices, efforts at restoration and reconstruction, and strengthening legal frameworks and social norms may give future generations the thrill of seeing artifacts and monuments that have been treasured for thousands of years and that make up the beating heart of our civilization. Our first speaker tonight is Dr. Catherine Hansen. Catherine is a U.S. Director of the American Academic Research Institute in Iraq and a Smithsonian Fellow at the Smithsonian's Museum Conservation Institute. She has curated museum exhibits and published widely on damage to ancient sites in Iraq and Syria. Her research combines archaeology, remote sensing, cultural heritage, and implications for public policy. She has been involved in various archaeological fieldwork projects for over 19 years, though she looks so young. She also serves as the U.S. Director of the American Academic Research Institute in Iraq and Program Director for the Archaeological Site Preservation Program at the Iraqi Institute for the Conservation of Antiquities and Heritage in Erbil, Iraq. Our second speaker at this lectern is Corey Wegener. She is the Cultural Heritage Preservation Officer in the Office of the Undersecretary for History, Art, and Culture at the Smithsonian Institution, and also looks shockingly young. She coordinates the Smithsonian's role in emergency response and recovery for cultural heritage threatened by natural disasters, human conflict, and other challenges. Her connection to the Smithsonian began with the Haiti Cultural Recovery Project, where she served as International Project Coordinator for the preservation of more than 30,000 objects of Haitian heritage after the devastating earthquake in 2010. Her recent projects include assistance for cultural heritage in New York after Hurricane Sandy, and emergency training workshops for cultural heritage professionals from Mali, Iraq, Syria, Nepal, and other countries experiencing disasters of man-made and natural origins. Before her arrival at the Smithsonian, Corey was the Associate Curator in the Department of Decorative Arts, Textiles, and Sculpture at the Minneapolis Institute of Arts. In her concurrent Army Reserve career, she served her last assignment as the Arts, Monuments, and Archives Officer for the 352nd Civil Affairs Command in Baghdad. Corey assisted staff at the Iraq National Museum in the aftermath of the devastating looting and supervised the preservation and freezing of the water-damaged collections known as the Iraqi Jewish Archive. Now retired from the Army Reserve, she continues to serve on the board of the Civil Affairs Association and organizes regular military cultural heritage awareness events dedicated to raising respect and understanding. The U.S. Committee of the Blue Shield, part of an international organization dedicated to raising awareness of the 1954 Hague Convention for the Protection of Cultural Property in the event of armed conflict. Her efforts led to the U.S. ratification of this important treaty in 2009. Our third speaker is one to whom we owe particular appreciation because he has stepped in at the last minute for Dr. Susan Wolfenbarger, who was the first person I contacted about a year ago to participate in this event. Dr. Brian Daniels is the Director of Research and Programs for the Penn Cultural Heritage Center at the University of Pennsylvania Museum and a visiting professor in the Sustainable Heritage, Cultural Heritage Graduate Program at the American University in Rome, and a research associate at the Smithsonian Institution. Dr. Daniels, again, looking very young, co-directs the safeguarding of the heritage of Syria in Iraq project, which aims to enhance the protection of cultural heritage by supporting professionals and activists in conflict areas. He also leads a National Science Foundation-supported conflict culture research organization focused on the study of intentional cultural destruction. Concerned with local efforts to preserve culture, he has worked for over 17 years with Native American communities on heritage preservation issues. We will hear from Dr. Hansen first, followed by our wonderful Corey Wegener, and then our rescuer, Dr. Brian Daniels. After the presentations, There will be a microphone placed in the center of the aisle for audience questions. Again, my sincere thanks to our speakers and to the interest of all those assembled.